It is election eve. Oh my goodness. I was just talking to Jaden and to Ben about how crazy and surreal it is that the day is almost here. I'm honestly feeling pretty good. I don't know if that's real or if it's hopium or what it is, but I'm feeling good on this Monday. I hope you all are doing very well. Trump is likely feeling a little bit panicked because he was slapped in the face, metaphorically, with his first rally of the day with a bad sign, okay? It doesn't mean anything necessarily about how the election is going to go, but based on a thing he's obsessed with, he was immediately starting off election eve with his nightmare, which is when the momentum and the excitement and the energy should be at an all-time high day before the election. A lot of people aren't interested in this rally.
Quickly show you here. We're in North Carolina. This is going to be his first stop.
Oh, by the way, sorry, I try to always do this before the first clip. Please remember to click the subscribe button if you haven't yet. Yesterday, we got something like, is this correct, Jaden? 13,000 subscribers in one day. Thank you so much. You all are amazing, trying to get us to the big goal of 1 million subscribers by the end of Election Day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're not subscribed yet, please do click it. It's free and very easy.
Quickly show you here. We're in North Carolina. This is going to be his first stop. He's making 2 stops in Pennsylvania, Reading, and then Pittsburgh before finishing the night, as he did in 2016 and 2020 in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And I want to show you guys real fast what this crowd looks like, because Donald Trump was scheduled to take the stage at 10 a.m., and our Tony Butler is going to show you what this crowd currently looks like. We're looking at about a capacity about 70% full here. And for 9 years, I'm going to have Tony pan to the right. For 9 years, we have talked about the enthusiasm and the masses that have come out for Trump's rallies time and again, even at his politically lowest points, including in 2022. But interestingly, and I can't tell you exactly why, but in this final week, we have seen far smaller crowds. We were in Greensboro, North Carolina, where just a few thousand people. Macon, Georgia, just a few thousand people yesterday. What does that mean? Ultimately, you can only discern so much from what crowd sizes look like. But interestingly, for the first time since I've been covering Donald Trump since 2015, there's been us in the press that have been looking around questioning why the crowd sizes have been less than what we are accustomed to.
Yeah, this is something Trump won't stop ranting about. We've seen it one rally after another since the debate, since Kamala Harris effectively broke his brain on this issue. He's been saying, no one leaves my rallies. Look, those people leaving, they're not actually leaving. They're going to come to stage and do something because of not leaving. And then I had a member of my close friend or family group, to not name names, who was at a rally and sent me a text saying, right when it starts, people just start pouring out. What's happening there? And so people leaving is one insecurity of Trump's that we put extra emphasis on because Trump's so obsessed with it. But then people not even showing up is, at this point, do you know what the polls tell us? It could go either way. We're trying to decipher this morning. I was up since early, just digging and digging and digging, trying to find a certain answer. There is no certain answer. That's the point. It's going to be a close election. So I guess we're reduced to analyzing final day crowd sizes. Again, something that you know is upsetting Trump. You can look at these photos of the same event this morning where not even close to full capacity, even though Trump insists not only is every rally filled and every seat filled with an ass that Biden likes to was a smack, but also there are thousands of people outside waiting to get in. This rally, very much not the case. Last night as well, Trump seems to be literally putting people to sleep, as we covered yesterday. The guy behind him trying so hard to keep himself awake because Trump was rambling and rambling. His heart, Trump's heart, doesn't seem to be in it like it used to be, and the crowds don't seem in it like they used to. This was last night, and you had a lot of empty seats.
I've been saying, call this number, that number, early voting, late voting. We should have one-day voting with paper ballots. Voter ID.
Oh no. Don't tell Trump. Don't let him see. Even right side broadcasting, which is is sort of doing their best to replicate North Korean propagandist TV, but in favor of Trump instead of Kim Jong-un. Even they zoomed out and revealed this. Let me mute this because YMCA will come for us. Or the YMCA copyright people. You could see just gargantuous empty spots. This is right when it was over, but you saw while it was going as well. So then I know what you're thinking. What could have been so unappealing about this rally that so many people would either leave or didn't come in the first place? I can tell you, I get it. Even if you're a Trump supporter, do you really want to sit and listen to Don Jr.?
Drag it out for, oh yeah. You know what they're going to try to do. We've seen this playbook before, but this time we're prepared. So if we win decisively tomorrow, you don't give them a week to find that magical truck filled with ballots, right? No one knows where they came from, but take back your country, America.
I am in a good mood today. I don't know why. I don't want to overdiagnose why that might be in terms of how I feel about this election. I am pretty hopeful, but we'll see how it goes tomorrow and maybe a couple days. But it could get me so infuriated that Don Jr. and Trump himself are so easily trying desperately, so willing to try so aggressively to cause violence again. They saw it last time. They didn't care. No remorse. Let's do it again. And it does give me even more hope about the results that it seems MAGA's panicking this much, that they would be preparing to cry foul. And remember, and we'll talk about this a bunch when we start our election day coverage. You can go to the shot, Jaden. Here's where Josiah will be joining me to do election coverage. We'll have some peeps back there hanging out with us for sort of an election party feel, but it'll be quite the day. And when we start that, I'll be saying over and over again that we're going to have to be patient. And if this comes down to one state, it might take a while to know the results for sure. If it comes down to just a couple, that doesn't mean anything other than the vote counting process is going on. And given how close it is, networks are going to be hesitant to jump to make a projection about who's going to win. And that's okay. And we can be patient. And we cannot allow Trump, at least in our response to it, we can't give any credibility, as I know we won't, to Trump coming out and claiming victory before we know who won, which is what he's going to try to do, so that if, as the counting happens, he ends up losing, he could say, but I declared victory back at 10 p.m., so how could I possibly have lost? He did it last time. He's going to do it this time if it looks like he's going to lose come the results coming in. Then you have Alina Habba saying this.
I just arrived with the greatest president this country has ever seen. He is backstage right now, and he is ready to become the 47th president of the United States tomorrow.
If you ever notice yourself making noises out of your mouth and you realize that the syllables that are coming out and the way that you're sequencing letters makes it sound like you're saying Trump is the best president in history, or if you find yourself in a place, your life has led you to a place where you're intentionally making noises out of your mouth that mean you believe Trump's the best president in history, it is time to take a break from politics, reassess what brought you to that place in your life, and ask some real questions, because that's scary. No, Trump's not the best president. Actually, he might be one of the worst. Then Trump fantasizes about how it's time for him to hit Michelle Obama politically.
Countries weren't accepting him back until I came. You know, with Barack Hussein Obama, I call him the Great Divider. He's the Great Divider. And he hit, and Michelle hit me. I was so nice to her. Out of respect, I was saying, She hit me the other day. I was going to say to my people, am I allowed to hit her now? They said, take it easy, sir. Sir, take it easy. My geniuses, I'm telling you, they said, just take it easy. Oh, what do you mean? She said bad about me. I can't hit back. Sir, you're winning. Just relax. Is that good advice? Is that good or bad advice? I think it's neutral. You know what the response is there? It's like, nah. What do the ladies from North Carolina think about hit back or just relax? Huh? Oh, they say hit back. You say hit back. I'd actually love to hit back, but we'll hold it a little while. We'll hold it. I'd love to hit back, but oh no, she took some shots at me the other day. I said, whoa, what have we here? I'd never heard that before. I've always treated her very nicely. But he's the great divider. Barack Hussein Obama, he's a great divider.
What do you even say about that, to be honest? If you really detach yourself from what you know already about Trump and what you know already about his supporters, and you just pretend like you've never seen this before and you're just going to tune into a political rally, and then you saw that, I don't know what someone would think with no context. He's just like a little kid on stage, just rambling about random stuff. And him pretending like he was really respectful to Michelle Obama, or that she's just now criticizing him for the first time, is wild and insane. Trump has this delusional view of himself, and I actually don't believe that he buys it, similar to how he's saying that it's Obama who's the great divider, when Trump literally started his political career by questioning the citizenship of Obama to spread racist lies about him while Obama was president. Convincing people that Obama was this huge threat to the country, thinking that if he could push down Obama, that would push up Trump in some way. And in a sense, he was able to manipulate all these people into falling for it pitifully. Then he just, throughout these rallies, has all sorts of moments like this one where you're just thinking, what is he saying?
But that's essentially what it says. And the funny thing is the ones that were most against it were the drug companies and the labs. We have the greatest labs in the world. What we're doing, space age things, and we got it started. It was dying on the limb before I came along. Well, NASA was dead. When I came along, all you're seeing with the space, and NASA was dead. NASA had grass growing out of its runways.
Again, is it narcissism or is it dishonesty or both? Does he actually think that the military was completely dead and gone and we didn't have any strong military, and then he came in and completely rebuilt it, and our space program wasn't, and NASA wasn't, and oh, by the way, speaking of space, Elon Musk's rocket, it comes down, it comes so fast, bing, bong, boom, it's so interesting. And I was thinking, if he could do that, he could do a lot of things. And then every single thing, the border, everything was perfect, and then now it's terrible. If you think that Trump had that much unilateral authority and that he actually was consequential in his policy implementation other than his wild mishandling of a global crisis, I don't know where you're living and what you're doing. What world are you in? Then Trump says this.
They have an app. Can you believe you call an app? You're now a drug trafficker or a human trafficker, and you say, ding, 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 hello? Where do I drop these people? Go about 7 miles up and then go a mile left and just drop them at the opening in the gate. Okay, can you believe this?
No, because it's not true. Because it's not true. Often he asks that question whenever he's lying to. I mean, isn't that just unbelievable? Yeah, it is. Now, to sort of refresh ourselves from the absurdity of Trump's rally, here is Pete Buttigieg talking about what motivates him to get up and do the work to advocate for the movement.
You are the world's expert on whatever propelled you into this room to choose to spend this day in this way.
Thank you.
What was it? I'll tell you mine. I told you a little bit about my son. Between him and my daughter, that's all the motivation I need.
That's right.
My day starts, if I'm lucky, it starts at, a little bit before dawn when they come into the room to wake us up. Otherwise, it starts about 3 in the morning when one of them comes barging through, usually our daughter. The door flies open. I hear those little feet. She comes running up to the bed. And she comes to tell me about a dream she just had. She doesn't say, I just had a dream. She doesn't even have that vocabulary yet. But when a toddler tells you, the dinosaur get me, you know what she means. And I get to put my arm around her. Or my husband does, whichever one of us is more awake. When it's me, I say, you're totally safe. No dinosaur is going to get you. I will not let any dinosaur come into this home. On my watch, you have a guaranteed dinosaur-free night. You can go right on back to bed. And it feels good as a dad to be able to make a promise to my child that I'm 100% sure is going to come true. With zero effort on my part. Pretty nice. But what brings me here is that the most important promises we make to our kids are not ones that are going to come 100% true with zero effort. They take some work. I want to be able to promise her, just as sure as she doesn't have to worry about dinosaurs coming into the room, I want to be able to promise her that she's going to have more rights and not fewer rights than her grandmother. I want to be able to promise her and her brother that by the time they're old enough to be going to middle school or high school, only thing they ought to worry about is middle school and high school stuff, like getting through class and whose lunch table to sit at, not whether they're going to be physically safe. We got to work to make sure that's a reality.
That's right.
I want to promise them that the air that they breathe and the water that they drink is as safe as what was handed to our generation. And when we do that, we're going to be reminded that this process, even though we know what we're up against, this is about what we're for. Are you ready to make sure Michigan produces a victory for Colorado?
You know, when I originally watched that clip, I was sitting here sipping on my, let's say for the story, it was coffee this morning. It was an energy drink. And I was thinking, this is a cute story about a dinosaur dream that his daughter had. And as it progressed, I was going, no way. He's going to turn this into promises that we need to make to the next generation. No, what? He's going to do it. He did it. And that was as elegantly and perfectly as you can transition such a story into such a compelling point, which is there are promises that we make as parents. No, not myself, but parents out there, and that we collectively want to make to the next generation. But most of them aren't as much of a sure thing as a dinosaur is not going to eat you, right? And for those ones, it takes us working for the people that we love. It takes the blood, sweat, and tears. It takes the effort. It takes caring enough and being tormented enough every day, as all of us have been, by the ups and downs and polls and the terrible insults and the horse race politics. It takes all of that, and we do it because we care. So I do want to say, as we enter into what's going to be a stressful, regardless of how this goes, next few weeks, to be honest, because if Kamala wins, Trump's going to start lying about it. Thank you so much for being a part of the group of people who cares enough to keep up with this and to vote and to get other people to vote. Because there are a lot of people out there who understandably don't subject themselves to this. If you're watching a show like this one, statistically, it means you're probably keeping up with politics 10 times more than most people. And what comes with that is a lot of stress and a burden, knowing the stakes of this, when a lot of people, sort of the ignorance is bliss concept applies to them. But their life is made better. Your children's lives are made better. The next generation's lives are made better. And our lives collectively, and MAGA's lives, are going to be made better if we're victorious. And a part of that is because of you. Thank you so much. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Get the bonus show if you want to support this show by clicking that join button below. And we will continue running our little election day coverage, so make sure to join us. Here's the reason.
We have to show that the MAGA way will only ever end in electoral defeat.
Just completely off the rails consistently, openly, brazenly, and blatantly insult. It is a sign of his own desperation.
So friends, if you're eligible voters, I want you to keep this in mind. Donald Trump will never be held accountable for anything he does if you give him back the keys to the White House. The stakes are too high.